Good evening, everyone. This is Bremster, finally returning to try the No Man's Sky Relics expedition. I apologize I didn't get to this one earlier. I'm not exaggerating when I say I nearly died. I got very, very sick and was admitted to the intensive care unit at one of the local hospitals where they thought I was going to stop breathing. Then a week later, after I'd recovered from the initial problem, a different issue did cause me to stop breathing. It's been a week. Actually, it's been a fortnight. I've been very, very sick. But today, I just want to focus on playing No Man's Sky. My energy levels are a little bit low, and I don't know how long I'll be able to stream for or how this will all go. Hey, Butterfly, good to see you. I don't know how this is all going to go, but I'm really looking forward to trying the expedition. So I am going to... How do I start a new game? How do I start a new game? New game. And I want to start the Relics expedition. I can tell you that my body clock is complete mess. And I'm going to be off work for probably... expect a few more weeks, actually. I've been really sick.
Commencing Atlas system suit initialization.
Oh, it's so good to be back.
Life support systems activated.
Ooh, this looks pretty.
Kinetic system online.
I am...
Repair required.
I'm going to say I'm okay, Keith. I'm not going to say I'm great. And knock on wood, the hiccups have been gone for a while. They may return.
Multi-tool and mining laser attachment operational.
So,
User initialization sequence complete.
the first thing I want to do... So, welcome to the Relics expedition. Is I want to go into options. I want to go into network and I want to turn PvP off. Group and friends, voice chat disabled. Friends only. I don't mind multiplayer. No one can add. Delete base parts, no one. Ship marker, sure. Actually, I'm going to make this friends. Friends. Can edit base terrain. Group and friends is fine. Let's do that. Difficulty. Survival elements full. Okay. Standard, standard. Sprinting, standard. I can live with that. Standard, standard. Standard, standard. All good. Fuel usage, standard, 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 standard. I want to get the experience, so I'm going to keep those as is and see how we go. So let's... Community expeditions. I think this is the same expedition page. Yep. Okay, so let's have a look at the expedition. So locate ship, collect ancient artifacts. Those are just the bones? Report the GPS field office at a space station, is it? I don't know. Collect a complete fossil? Okay. Defeat an ancient guardian. Okay. Resemble an avian skeleton. And discover minerals. Okay, so scan stuff. Report to a second GPS dig. Collect a complete fossil, reassemble a biped, discover creatures, eliminate hazardous flora, well, I'll do a lot of that, adopt companions, and analyze recovered data. Third GPS dig, collect a complete fossil, reassemble a quadruped skeleton, take 5 photos of ground creatures, catch a bonefish, discover plants, exchange fossils with a collector. Fourth dig, collect a complete fossil, reassemble a reptilian skeleton, excavate terrain. So I assume that's used the terrain manipulator to excavate. Ancient bones. Whip up a delicious bone broth and serve bone to Cronus. Final GPS, collect a complete fossil, reassemble a protoform skeleton, search dung samples, okay. Investigate memory stones, defeat ancient guardians, and sell fossils. Okay. How's Butterfly better than... I hope people are doing well. Alright, dust and oxygen, useful to have. Chromatic metal, useful to have because I often need to repair my ship. Okay, let's look at, what is this? Sample translator. Oh, simple translator. Superior translator. I didn't think I needed both. I'm shooting backwards. Cobalt deposit. Cobalt's useful to have. Hey, Frappy! No one knows how to type the pi symbol. Good to see you too, Frappy. I would like to thank everyone for the support while I was sick. Getting all the good messages and stuff, and the puzzle from Chip and the continued puzzle recommendations from Frappy and just the positive support messages on the pre-recorded videos. I'm really glad I had those pre-recorded World Puzzle Federation videos. It was just, you have no idea how much it meant. Because sitting in an intensive care ward surrounded by people who, like, I felt like a fraud in intensive care because I had a sore throat and there were people around me who were in, like, visibly life-threatening situations, but the nurses kept reminding me, it's like, believe me, you should be here, because I was in a lot of danger. Like, they just kept reminding me, it's like, yeah. But I felt like a fraud. I wasn't a fraud, but I felt like one. I expect to get distracted a lot while doing this. Is it me or does the game look better? The game looks awesome. I think I've got some carbon. It's good to see you back at this channel, Frappy. I know that you've been busy. I'm not angry at you for... And I hope people understand that I'm kind of focusing on my gaming because I've really missed it. Now, let's go to my options again. Display and graphics. What's my field of view? General? Camera. That looks a bit better. Oh, I need an advanced mining laser. Oh, poop. Do I get the advanced mining? Oops. Personal refiner, I'll get from that. When am I going to get an advanced mining laser? Discover minerals. So if I can discover some more minerals. Oh, I'm aware. I've learned a lot about just how much my epiglottis was... So there are 29 minerals on this planet. Is that a drop pod?
Units received.
Believe me, oh man. I just don't want to talk about how bad things got. It was bad.
Units received. Units received.
I want to try and be a bit more positive this stream. And positive things got bad. I'm trying to be a little bit silly as well.
Units received.
Can I actually make the things I need for the drop pod? Antimatter housing and... yeah, I think I can. Although I need the sodium nitrate. So I need to visit my ship first. And there's... yeah, I need the advanced mining laser. Record delicate flora, supreme toxic protection upgrade. going to spend a little bit of time on this planet, you know. Remember the concept of easily distracted? The ship communicator registers an incoming message. The frequency is unusual, broadcast on an antiquated bandwidth. I will answer. If I've slunked. The alien babbles enthusiastically, not seeming to mind whether the specifics of their words are understood. Dust floats from their hands as they gesticulate. An excavation schedule, plotting out a series of dig sites spread across multiple worlds. The Galactic Paleology Society representative appears delighted. The first directive on the schedule is no request for fossils, as I had expected, but a request for artifacts. I thought they gave me a signal booster. They did. I want to go down here and see if I can discover some more minerals.
Units received.
8 out of 10.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
Absolutely want the advanced mining laser.
Technology recharge.
Sorry if I'm not as active with chat. Hey, Ignition. As I possibly should be. Now, can I find the...
Units received. Units received.
I think it was this way. Try and find the curious deposit again. Should we start calling you Fran, should we? But one of the things that's happened while I've been away is I have made a lot of puzzles. I haven't solved, well, I've solved a lot, but I have made an extraordinarily large amount of puzzles. And people will start seeing the benefits of that soon, I hope. I'll take the ancient data structure, but I was looking for the curious deposit. I should have noted the coordinates of the curious deposit, but I was a doofus. Because it was a really nice curious deposit. I'm taking this slow because I'm still recovering. So for people who are coming here expecting like turbocharged No Man's Sky, yeah, I'm not up for that yet. I am still quite wasted. It wasn't getting memory fragments one of the things I had to do. Yeah, investigate memories. So doing that while I'm here is not necessarily a bad thing. There it is. I'm glad people like that I'm back. Hint, hint. Like. I'm joking. Like the stream, dislike the stream, hate the stream. There's no hate button. There we go. It's a bunch of runaway mold. Polished stone. I don't know if I'm going to need that or not. Collect ancient artifacts. This is a nice relaxed start. I kind of like it. I'm assuming it'll get more exciting as we go along. Okay, let's head back to the ship. So there will be a puzzle video tonight, and I've already recorded tomorrow night's puzzle video as well, which is a very belated video. It was one I was supposed to release on the 29th of March for a very specific event, and I couldn't. The puzzle video to come out tonight may be one of my favourite puzzles of the year. I'm sorry things are not good for you, Butterfly. Not playing the competition game, but believe me, I get it. Things have not been good anywhere for a while. Ugh. I'm releasing what I can record. The advantage I had with the World Puzzle Federation puzzles was I recorded those ones over a month ago. So they were no effort to release. When I started getting sick, I started releasing them early. They were supposed to start coming out 1st of April, and it was like, I can't record, so I just started releasing them the day I couldn't release normal videos. One, 2, 6, 24, 120. Add 1, add 4. So add 2 to the power of 2. Add 18. Oh, 1 times... no. Times 2, times 3, times 4, times 5. So times 6 would be 720. Wow. I've even seen this sequence before. My brain is mush. One of the puzzles I was sent, it was like, you'll solve this in about half an hour. It took me 50 minutes. I'm not upset that it took me 50 minutes. It just took me 50 minutes. My channel has always been, this is me solving a puzzle, or this is me playing a game. Geek word for the. I have the word for the. So I'm going to do this distress signal first. Ooh, it's lost all my... Okay, while I'm here, let's get some fuel. Yeah, the puzzle that's coming out tonight, not the one that came out 50 minutes ago. I don't even remember which one that was. I recorded that like 4 months ago. But the one that's coming out as the main video tonight, which I recorded today. Beautiful puzzle. Loved it. I would love to recommend it to CTC. It's by Team B, so it was made for me. So I don't know if they'd accept it from that perspective. I hope they would. I hope a lot of people recommend it. I'm probably going to. I spoke to I spoke to one of the people who tested it, and they're of the opinion that CTC probably couldn't solve it. Have a good one, Frappy. Thank you for dropping in. Love you. Love everything you do. I'm a bit soppy right now. This may sound a bit weird, but honestly, I was in intensive care because they were incredibly worried I was going to die. And then 2 nights ago, so this time 2 nights ago in hospital, so 46 hours ago in the ER at my local hospital, I stopped breathing. Yeah, it's been a rough, a weird and rough few days. So I've got some silver. I've got lots of tritium hyperclusters. This should be more than enough tritium for fuel me for the entire expedition. There's some gold. Let's find this distress signal. Where was it? It's over there. I have multiplayer on and PvP off. Yes, Ignition. Fel has been... both Fel and Maggie have been doing it rough, particularly considering Fel also had surgery this week. So, yeah, it's been a weird one. I can't remember if I need... I might be able to swap. I'm going to gamble. So my starship is called... Okay, so what have I got in this area? I do need memory stones, so let's go for it. If people think I'm ignoring chat, please just forgive me. If you guys are just happy to hang around and watch and keep each other company, I'm more than comfortable with that. I just needed to re-engage a little bit, and I'll engage with chat how I can. Little bit overwhelmed, so I'm just relaxing how I can. But I didn't want to stop the whole I stream my No Man's Sky journey. I thought that would have been rude. Fel is an amazing rock. Maggie's pretty good too. Lights low. I'm going to take my jacket off because my PC is warming up my... I'm not going to say I was really anxious about me too. I'm not going to say I'm better. I am still on massive doses of antibiotics and will be for a few more days, which is sending my system into absolute apoplexy. I am on currently 7 medications I wasn't on 2 weeks ago, and I have found out that some of them I will probably be on forever. This is okay. I'm an old man. I should be on old man medication. I was extraordinarily lucky. So, for people who aren't interested in medical stories from an old man, sorry about the next few minutes. So, I went to the doctor's with a sore throat. So I woke up a couple of weeks ago, and it was pretty much 2 weeks, in about 12 hours from now, about 2 weeks ago, I woke up with a sore throat. And it was like, oh, I've got a bit of a sore throat. And then the sore throat kept getting worse and worse and worse. So I went to the doctor's, 2 weeks ago tomorrow. And I went to the doctor's and he had a look down my throat and he went, there's no sign of anything. There's been a bug going around. Just go home, rest your voice. It was like, I'm a YouTuber. How am I going to rest my voice? But it was like, rest your voice, take a couple of days off work, do the normal things of just, do things to try and, be gentle on your voice, eat soft foods, all of that sort of stuff. And, it'll get better. And it didn't get better. It got worse. 5 memory stones. Which is a phase 5 reward. So I'll head back to my ship. So anyway, so I spent the next few days trying to deal with it, eating soft foods, and then 3 days later I went back saying, this is not getting better, it's getting worse. And he said, yeah, I'm still not seeing anything. Gave me some painkillers and said, honestly, it's a sore throat, throats heal. And realistically, and please don't think I'm angry at my GP for this. I love my GP and I still trust him completely. Just push through it, it'll heal. And then I woke up at basically the next morning. It was like 3 o'clock the next morning. I woke up in so much pain that I was lying on the floor in my bathroom just weeping constantly because I could barely function. I know I could summon my ship to me, but I'm just enjoying the chill. So we took me down to the emergency room. And I was there with a sore throat, and it was like, and they were like, okay, sore throat, fine, and they were kind of, the triage nurse and everything was kind of like the same as my GP. It was like, it's a sore throat, whatever. But we'll, and I was waiting there for a while, and I was talking to Fel in the waiting room, and one of the doctors overheard me and apparently went, get this guy in for an x-ray, please. It was like, he's got a sore throat. He's like, get him in for an x-ray. Okay. And they got me in for an x-ray. He insisted it happened fast. And they got me in for an x-ray. And apparently he recognized something in the tone of my voice. He calls it potato soup voice, like I'm talking while gargling potato soup. And he said, I've heard this once before. Apparently it's incredibly rare, and he said, it sounded to, I've heard someone with epiglottitis speak before, and you sounded just like them. And if you had epiglottitis, then your life was at risk. If he hadn't been there and heard me speak, I have no idea what would have happened. So they took an x-ray, confirmed my epiglottis was swollen, and he just went, right, this is it. We don't have an ear, nose and throat specialist here, and we don't have an ICU. We're sending you to a local hospital that has ENT and an ICU. An hour later, I'd been put into an ambulance and I was admitted to an ENT. The ENT did a scan. The ENT specialist came down to the ER at the extra hospital, put a tube down my throat, and basically said, I'm going to call ICU now. I am putting this guy into, and I'm telling him this guy gets the next bed. And the ER nurse is like, what? And you're putting him in the high observation bed. And she was like, well, we've got someone in that bed now. It's like, what for? And she told him I wasn't paying that much attention to it. And he said, yeah, move that guy, put this guy in it. It's like, I'm starting to worry at this point. He says, yeah, and I want someone sitting with him until he's in ICU. It's like, holy shit. And like 2 hours after after I got an x-ray at my local hospital, I was at a different hospital in their intensive care unit. It was insane. Okay. So I'm putting down a signal booster. So yeah, and apparently the risk was my epiglottis was so swollen that all I needed was for part of the epiglottis to just move the wrong way, and that would have been it. That just done. I would have stopped breathing and I could not have been intubated. So it would have been because my epiglottis would have swollen to the point where if they'd intubated me, they would have ripped my epiglottis, and then I would never have been able to control my own eating again. Something like that. Now, this may be, I'm just going by what I was told while I was on massive doses of medication. So if I've got any of these details wrong, if you're a doctor and any of these details sound wrong, I apologize. I'm not a medical professional. I'm just the guy who lived through it. Through all of this, all I had was a sore throat. So I felt like a fraud in the ICU. There's people next to me. I'm not going to talk about other patients, but there are people next to me who are going through absolute hell. They sounded like just the worst stuff. Like if I'd been going through what they're going through. Meanwhile, the ICU nurses are treating me like, you know, it's like, believe me, you should be here. It's like, I felt like such a fraud. But yeah. And they gave me 2 major medications. The first one was the antibiotics, and intravenous antibiotics. The other one was intravenous steroids. Now, sorry, I'm starting to feel a bit worn. The intravenous steroids have a rare side effect of causing hiccups. Okay, not a big deal. Except the rare side effect of the hiccups is supposed to last like while you're on the steroids. For me, I've been off the steroids now for a week, and the hiccups are still mostly gone, but a little bit present. Do I need to visit that place? Maybe? I need to charge my hyperdrive unit. I need an antimatter housing. So anyway, the hiccups persisted for long enough that my diaphragm started seizing, and because I'd been hiccuping for so long, I wasn't talking properly, I wasn't breathing properly, I wasn't able to eat. They've put me on medication to help me eat and be able to swallow correctly. They've put me on something to help the diaphragm work correctly. But while they were scanning for that, they found that I have a I can't remember. Oh, I've forgotten. But I've got a hernia, which is also going to impact things ongoing. So we're just treating the hiccups and that while I'm being treated for the epiglottitis. And the big question now is going to be, is the thing that caused the epiglottitis, was it just an ulcer that is now healing, or is it actually a tumor? So lots to... And this is a feature I've wanted to try out for a while. See that? It's marked the planet. Remember how I've been saying my entire time that you should be able to mark a planet? You can now do that. Isn't that beautiful?
Technology recharge.
It doesn't have anything I want to buy. You can have the Geknip.
Received.
You can have the salvage data. You can have the dirty bronze.
Received.
You have the microprocessor.
Received.
I'm heading for the space station. So yeah, anyway, that's a very brief summary of a lot of the stuff that's happened to me over the last week and a bit. When I saw the patch notes, I think I was in hospital when the patch notes came out, and it was like, yeah. I can't summon the ship? I needed to repair the ship to be able to summon it. Oh, that sucks. Can I summon it at the anomaly, maybe? This is why I repair the launch thrusters and everything. I should have repaired the launch thrusters. I always do, and I didn't think of it because I thought, I think the one time I didn't do it. Now I'm looking... I'm actually going to change my marked planet to that one. No, don't take me back to the station. Oh well, so I should have repaired it, so I'll never see that ship again. Oh, this planet looks... Have they done something to up the realism? This looks amazing.
Radiation protection falling.
Stupid radiation storm. It's fine. I may get a freighter at some point during this, like if I do enough warp jumps, who knows.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received. Radiation protection falling.
Prepackaged scatter blaster unit.
Units received.
Supreme radiation protection upgrade. I'll take that.
Units received.
What I'm looking for is some uranium. Like that one.
Units received. Units received. Technology recharge. Units received. Units received. Units received.
What was that?
Units received. Units received. Units received.
If I only been playing an hour, it really feels like 3. So I'm so glad I'm here. I mean, you probably have an idea how much I've missed this, but boy have I missed this.
Units received. Units received. Units received. Units received.
Peace! That is not what's been happening. What's been happening is Bremster is low on energy because he's got so many antibiotics and other things running through his system that he's just really tired.
Units received.
And you can't blame me. I've only had like 16 hours sleep today. One of these plants was unidentified.
Radiation protection falling. Units received.
I need to recharge it with an ion battery. Can I make an ion battery? I can.
Technology recharge.
What is that? Worst uranium deposit in history.
Technology recharge.
Let's go for that one. I have to admit, Butterfly, please don't take this the wrong way. You're one of the people I always think of whenever I'm currently putting together a series of puzzles, which has got the concept similar to, I want to help people learn concepts of how puzzles work. And I always think of how, I'm going to pick on them again, even though I love what they do. Mark will turn around and say, if you want to learn the basics of Sudoku, go buy our apps or go buy this. And it's like, but what if people can't? And so I'm doing a series which are going to be on YouTube. So, you can watch YouTube for free. May come with crappy ads, but they'll be on YouTube. And I'm potentially going to release them on as books as well, which I will probably do on my Patreon, but I'll do it at the free Patreon tier. Not sure if I'm going to do that yet. But I know that there are people who don't have a lot of money. So turning around and saying, if you want to learn Sudoku, spend money with us is like, and if people don't have it, you don't want them to learn Sudoku. And I know that the perspective is we just want you to spend money with us. But... Ooh. I don't think I've seen an underwater... deposit before. And I'm not trying to say that you're cheap, Butterfly, but whenever I think about, is this something that I could potentially sell because I've put hundreds of hours into it or anything, the answer is I probably could, but I feel dirty doing it. And I also feel like I'm not good enough for my stuff to be worth selling. Like, if my stuff was James Sinclair level, maybe. But the stuff I'm making now, I'm just going to give away. And when I say I think of you, I'm not thinking... This is coming out wrong. I know that there are people who follow my channel and everything for whom a couple of bucks a month is just... like, it's a lot of money. And that's going to get worse for a lot of people. So just turning around and saying, to get a hobby which should be ostensibly free or really cheap. Now, does that mean I don't want to get some reward for the effort I've put in? No, but, if I release them and YouTube gives me, enough people watch my videos that I get a little bit of... YouTube gives me a little bit of advertising revenue for it, then, that makes up for it, I think. Sure, it means that in order for that to work, I have to record a video and videos of that type get less views than me doing puzzles of different type and everything. But, it's okay. I mean, it's not as if I'm doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I want to share. I want to do it for people. The money is nice, but if I did it for the money, I wouldn't be doing it. And the Sudoku problem series is still there. People say, I should do more. And it's like, maybe, but realistically, the Sudoku problem series kind of served its purpose. I was finding that it was getting incredibly repetitive. And there's this concept of, but it's been long enough so you could potentially do them again. And it's like, well, I don't need to. They're there. It's like, why, I'm not a fan of remakes of movies that tell exactly the same story with exactly the same concepts with exactly the same shots. There's no need to do that. Just go back and look at the original. Hey, Plank Time.
Radiation detected. Technology recharge.
Okay.
Extreme radiation detected. Extreme radiation detected.
I may be doing this expedition completely the wrong way. And I'm kind of cool with this. So is this planet called Samian Moba because they want you to go there with PvP turned on and for it to be a battle arena? I mean, my gaming mouse is just a Logitech G305. Served me perfectly fine. It's not a overly expensive one. My gaming chair is an expensive one. No. Higher price doesn't always mean better, but often there is a correlation between it does depend. I mean, this is a discussion I was having. I think the CTC Sudoku apps 5 years ago were excellent value for money. I really do. I think now, considering they've not been updated in that time. And the new ones that I've seen have had interesting puzzles, but often less interesting than the stuff that's available for free. Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. So my This is absolutely true. The Vimes boots theory is absolutely true. So it's based on a concept of a refrigerator theory. So a cheap fridge will cost you, and it's similar with a pair of shoes, but the first economic paper I remember reading on it was based on refrigerators. So if you buy a cheap fridge for, say, $500, this is not working as a concept, I don't think. Well, maybe. If you buy a cheap fridge for, say, $500, odds are it might last you 3 or 4 years. It's very expensive to be poor. So if you can only afford a cheap fridge, odds are what's going to happen is you'll buy something that will last you for 3 or 4 years, because that's all you can afford. Because you're buying something with cheaper components, and it's built cheaply. That's the way it works. They're building it as cheaply as they can to get something onto the market for people who are buying on a budget. If, however, you can afford to go out and buy a $2,000 fridge, then you're probably buying something that's going to last you for 20 years. So I remember when Fel and I were really quite poor, like really poor. This was quite a while ago. Fel had a hand-me-down fridge that died. Her father was actually a fridge repairer. And we had a hand-me-down fridge that died. It had been given to her, I think it was one of her father's old repair jobs. We'd been together for maybe a year at the time. And I need to do this, don't I? But at the time, we were looking at what we could afford. We were dirt poor. And my parents basically came to the rescue and said, what can you afford? And we were basically looking at like at the time, I think it was like a $400 fridge. And they went, nope, you're not buying a $400 fridge. And they loaned us the money to get, I think what at the time was like a $1,200 fridge. Not quite top of the line, but much better. And we're still using that fridge. We've been together 30 years. Yeah. I mean, that was Vime's thing. You know, if you spend, you know, I can't remember the figures that Vimes gave, but if you spend, you know, $10 on a pair of shoes that'll last you for a month, and then but you can spend $50 on a pair of shoes that'll last you a year, but $50 shoes are actually cheaper. The problem is you need to have the $50. It is more expensive to be poor. And it's one of the worst things about the economy we live in.
Technology recharge.
Prepackaged personal force field unit? Sorry, I'm way behind on chat. I'm going to need a lot more warp fuel. So I need a planet with copper. Okay, let's find a planet with copper. Does this thing have copper? What is it? That'll do. Actually, let's go to the space station first. So, Bellene discovered that one of the nicer chocolate places around us, which is called Hague's, delivers. She found this out during lockdown. So she did all of our ordering for Easter a couple of weeks ago, and we got a big box, big box of chocolate arrive. Neither of us eat chocolate as much as we used to. But when we order from Hague's. Yeah. The movement module is tempting. The Scatterblast module is tempting. I think I'm going to grab the movement module because of the way I play.
Product received.
Actually, let's try and find a planet that with copper without high sentinel activity. So that one. This. I am not taking credit for the number of times I complained that this should be a feature. But I'm glad that this is a feature.
Technology recharge.
I'm just glad that everyone is here having a good time. Like, you have no idea how much this means to me. I hope everyone is happy that this is happening. It really feels like I've been playing for three or more hours. I know it's been under 2. And I know I'm not my regular hyperactive blah 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 self. Sorry. Remember, like and subscribe. Gotta keep YouTube happy. Oh, hey, Starduster. Did I miss you coming in? No, I'm doing okay. I've slept most of today. If I feel myself get to the point where I need to stop, I will stop. And as you can see, I'm not beelining straight for the goals or anything. I'm just relaxing my way into the game and doing what makes me feel comfortable. I'm not sure where you're English. Well, you're in England, aren't you, Keith? So, when I was in, well, okay, random trade outpost. When I went to Germany in 2019, this could be a problem. No, save and chart. Can I get the save and chart point? Considering I landed on top of it, yes. When I went to... What? You're near where Mark lives, so you must know him. That's a joke. I have so much respect for the way that Mark solves. Anyway, when I went to Germany, I went to Hamburg, and I went to a place called Choco Versum, which is a place that talks about how they make chocolate, chocolate there. And they've got a small chocolate factory, which is basically just it's not where they make chocolate, but this is the process for making chocolate as an example thing. And that was really interesting about how the different levels of cocoa are used and everything. It was really interesting. And I really wanted to go back there with Fel. And we'd actually booked a holiday to go to Germany in 2020. But we all know what happened in 2020. We were going to go back to the Essen Game Spiel and to Hamburg again, because I wanted to take her to the Miniature Wonderland. And I wanted to take her to Chocoversum. Yeah, so many things I wanted to do, and it all just turned to absolute poop. I know what that building is. That's the trade post, and this is... No, I don't need to go in there. Okay, great. Do not need to do any of those. Let's see if I can find copper. Is there closer copper? Copper should be everywhere, right? Apparently not. Miniature Wonderland is, I mean, in 2019 it was phenomenal, and I've heard it's only gotten better. So the friend I went to Germany with, Dell, who has, early on in this channel, he used to drop in a bit, but he's a busy man. We'd spoken to a friend who said, oh, it's absolutely wonderful. Make sure you leave like 2 or 3 hours. We turned up at Miniature Wonderland, I think it was at like 9:30 in the morning, just after it opened. And we were there until 8:30 or something at night. It's like we spent 10 hours at Miniature Wonderland. And he was like... And I'd said there was something else in the area I really wanted to do, like really, really wanted to do. Like, and it was the only day that we could possibly do it. And he said, okay, we'll try and leave with enough time to do that. And he was like, oh, we're not going to get to do your thing. And it's like, don't care. This is great. So, aren't you bored? It's like, no. So it was 2 stories, and we spent, it must have been 8 or 9 hours there. It was so good. Like, we spent, in some of the display areas, we spent an hour just sitting there watching. We did the backstage tour. It was so amazingly good. We're the sort of people who could just sit and look at small figurines, do nothing for 10 hours. It's such a good holiday.
Units received.
Yeah, people, I've seen people like advertise Australian cuisine. It's like, really? What's that? I mean, England does have cuisine. There are things that you get that are clearly English. Like, we eat them here. But to me, they are clearly English. I would say things like, Toad in the Hole is probably not a great example, but yeah, chicken tikka masala, yeah. Some of the curries my family serve are very much English. It's like King's curry powder with stuff. I don't know the punchline to that joke, Chip, and I don't know that I'll appreciate it.
Technology recharge.
I mean, Australia does have some things that are uniquely Australian, but most Australians don't eat them. Like, for example, try and go into a bakery in Australia and get damper. You won't. Many Australian bakers will look at you like you're going out of your mind.
Units received.
Now, I was here for copper.
Technology recharge.
Is there really no copper on this planet? Cobalt doesn't turn into... Okay, let's summon in my ship and then go elsewhere. Well, I can't think of a good...
Technology recharge.
I can't think of an Australian cuisine. I mean, there are items that you can only get in Australia. Kangaroo meat, we don't eat very much. We should. I mean, people don't like to think about it, but kangaroos are a bit of a plague. We have lots of them, and the meat is so good. I think the last time I had crocodile was a crocodile bouillabaisse, and that was really nice. Is there no copper on this planet? I'm feeling very hard done by. I mean, chicken is my favourite meat, which annoys my mother because she's allergic to it. That's not true. It doesn't annoy her at all. It's just unfortunate. No offense to all the vegetarians in the area. That's a low-flying ship. Oh my god, he committed suicide! That's a good point, isn't it? I mean, I know there's copper on this planet.
Thermal protection falling.
Okay, apparently not. Well, there... Okay, let's just go for that. I thought I dug you up. I mean, I'm not apologising for not being vegetarian, but I understand that talking about different meats can be problematic for vegetarians. But I am not a vegetarian, and unless my dietary situation changes again, probably won't be. There are things for them to feed on, Chip. That's fine. But yes, humans are omnivores. It's all good. I'm enjoying just relaxing into this. I may be doing this expedition completely backwards, but I'm kind of having fun with it. It's so good to be back into the gaming. I keep expecting my boss to jump in one day. Thought you were sick. Why are you playing video games? He knows I play video games. He's subscribed to this channel. It's cool having 14 people here. For the people who are being silent, I'd be curious to know sort of what they expect from either a No Man's Sky channel or a video gaming channel, because I do play other sorts of games. I'd be curious what people actually sort of are looking for. I'm not saying that I'm going to change what I do, which is just play what the mood takes me in the way that the mood takes me. Because if I changed my play style to sort of meet an audience expectation and I wasn't enjoying it, I'd probably stop. But I am curious as to what people are looking for, because they may come up with ideas. It's like, oh, I never thought of that. I'd like to try that. I don't think I have too much longer in me, but maybe I'm wrong. I think this is the longest I've set up in a couple of, probably a week. So there are copper deposits over closer to my chip, so I'm going to go mine those up as well. You are more than welcome to be here for the chat plank time. One of the things I really like about what my channel seems to have done is it's built this really nice community of just really cool people who just like to come here and have a good time. And, you know, if that's huge. Even if it's not about the gaming. What's wrong with my gaming? I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Have a good one, Ignition. Try and enjoy some food for me, because it's been a while since I've done that.
Units received. Weather warning. Incoming storm.
Uh-oh. So the last pork pie I remember having was at an inn called the Green Dragon, which I expect more of you have heard of and seen than you may think. And it was a very good pork pie. And I don't normally drink beer or ale or anything, and I had a pork pie and an ale. And I really enjoyed them both.
Technology recharge. Thermal protection falling.
That's a good question. Green Dragon... I think it was poison. Didn't even have to get out of my chair.
Thermal protection falling. Technology recharge. Technology recharge. Thermal protection falling.
No, that's metallic dragons. I want chromatic dragons. Poison breath.
Weather update. Storm clearing.
Do you want to know the really weird thing? That was the 5th edition Monster Manual. Didn't even have to get out of my chair. If you don't trust the 5th edition Monster Manual, there's the 4th edition Monster Manual if you want me to check that one. Notice I also didn't have to get out of my chair. I've probably got the Draconomicon within range as well. Maybe not. Draconomicon may have been 3rd edition. Because I'm not seeing it there. I thought... Wait, what? Okay, I'll take it. I have played a lot of D&D over the years. And I can tell you right now, the new edition of D&D is the first edition I am not going to be buying. I have bought every edition of Dungeons & Dragons ever, and I have bought almost every book in every edition of every Dungeons & Dragons ever, including I once did a job while I was in high school just to buy the D&D books that were coming out at the time. Like, this is how much into D&D I've been since I was a very young kid. And no, Keith, this has been my life. D&D books being like in range of me, has literally just been something that's always happened my entire life. I do mean to return to Romina and Vint, but there's a couple of adjustments I need to make to my lifestyle before I can do that. Because there's been because of the changes in the D&D world, I need to make some adjustments to the way it's working. I've also learned a lot about solo role-playing, and I need to make some adjustments, so I need to look at it and figure out how to make those adjustments, and that's going to take time. And honestly, since the Sudoku channel has grown, time has been something that I've had precious little of. And honestly, it's hard work, and it's hard work I enjoy, but there's been a hurdle there. And of course, there was the emotional hurdle that my main D&D partner was my dad. And while I mostly feel better about all of that now, it's not completely gone.
Technology recharge.
So, no, all of my D&D books have been to hand for me my entire life. It's just... yeah. When I got my first ever iPad, I loaded PDFs of the D&D books on them. It pretty much is the first thing I ever did, and I've never owned a tablet that did not have third, fourth, or the current edition and all the previous editions of D&D on them in some form. It's just the way I roll. Okay. How far away is my ship? I thought it was pretty close. Yeah, it's right there. I also want to improve the quality of what I do with those videos, and I'm not sure how to do that yet. But I want to roll in the Mythic GME, and I want in a better way. And I want to roll in... There's a book that I discovered about a year ago called The Game Master's Guide to Proactive Role-Playing. And there are some concepts in there. Ooh, jittery shadows. That's very strange. The shadow effect here is very weird. And I want to incorporate some of those concepts into the storytelling I'm doing. But in order to do that, I need to refactor the way I'm thinking about everything. Okay, so we need to make a bunch of warp cells. So let's make...
Thermal protection falling. Technology recharge.
Did I bore everyone starting to talk about D&D? To me, or does this game look better? Okay, Butterfly, I'm probably not going to be doing too much more. Though I'm really loving this. I may end up playing a little while people can't watch because I'm actually off work. So I may end up playing a little while people are asleep. And I'm not doing it to exclude you, it's just the time. Ooh.
Hostile ships deleted.
What was the point of that? That could have been someone else's freighter battle. Look at that! The lighting just changed. They do look amazing, don't they? I've been playing this pretty chill. So which way do we think it is? That one over there or that one over there? I think it's more likely to be that one over there, isn't it? I think I got it wrong. I don't mind travelling on foot. I get to discover stuff on the way.
Units received.
Maybe. If there's anything on this rock. So one of the things I think I want to do tomorrow is write up my next submission to CTC. I've got a puzzle I'm really happy with. I think it's a Mark solve, not a Simon solve. But I got dirt.
Units received.
Hello! The Galactic Paleology Society agent catches my eye as they dust themselves off. Sev, you are a new worker, yay? Good, many of you are here. Avian fossil display plans. Collect a complete fossil. Okay, so I need to find a planet with bones. So that one, probably. So, Relics Expedition. Next session is going to be travel to planet with ancient bones and try to complete a fossil. I am now going to get into my ship, get out of my ship, and quit to mode select. Vampy, your timing is insane. Hey, Vamp. Okay, before I log off, everyone, I need to thank Vamp from the bottom of my heart. Vamp did everything over the last week to look after Fel and I. She was our taxi service. She did shopping runs for us. She did medication runs for us. She came and helped clean, I believe, while I was trying to sleep. Vamp was our guardian angel for like nearly a week. Thank you, Vamp. Thank you, Vamp. Thank you, Vamp. I am saying to all of the people in the world, without you, I don't know how we would have made it through. And today has been so much better for me than previous days. It is hard to express how much better I feel. But I've been now up doing this for a couple of hours, and I feel like every bit of energy has left my body. I know you would do it any time, but we love you so much, and we will never be able to thank you for the last week. At some point when we are able to eat, we'll take you out to dinner or something. But yeah, public thank you in front of all of my friends. We have amazing friends, Keith, and Vampy is one of the best. I've been blessed with the best friends ever. Like, because Fel had surgery the day I was discharged from hospital, Vamp is the one who came and collected me and brought me home and made sure that I got to pharmacies and got all my medications. And I mean, I'm not bashful here. I got into her car wearing a diaper with a severe risk that I was going to soil myself in her nice shiny car. It's just, Vamp is awesome. Thank you everyone for jumping in. I will be hopefully doing more of this tomorrow night. I'm hopefully going to play some Robocop probably tomorrow during the day where less people are able to watch, and then I'll save No Man's Sky for the evening when people are able to watch, because it will mean that people can join me for No Man's Sky, which I know they're more interested in. Thank you, everyone. This has been wonderful. Getting back to this has meant so much to me. You have no idea how important this session has been. The No Man's Sky has been fun, but just being able to get back to doing all of this. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Please remember to like the stream because that's important for YouTube. But just know you are all in my heart. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And as always, good luck finding your paradise planet. Bye, everyone.